Hi, I'm Jodi Amen, and today I'm going to talk about bullying because it's a really huge problem. And hi, Mike. It's been a huge problem in a lot of people's lives, a lot of people that I talk to, a lot of people that are online really struggling. This morning, I read an article about a 12-year-old right here in Rochester, New York, who killed herself because she was bullied. Hi, Scott. And it broke my heart. 12 years old. Killed herself because she was being bullied. And it was so, I mean, I'm sure there was other things going on, but there's this young woman, I don't know her very well, but she sent me an email and said, Jodi, when are you going to do a video about being bullied? Because I really need some help here. And I don't know her story and I don't know what's going on, but I know that there's some things that you can do to get yourself through it. I was bullied when I was young. When I was in 8th grade, I was bullied, excuse me. When I was, I can't get it out. Well, obviously this is very emotional, right? I do remember this time really horribly. And I do remember also being very mean to somebody else during that time. During 7th and 8th grade, they're just bad grades, right? And really difficult times. And when I was in 8th grade, I was really being bullied by some boys. And my best friend, who was a really tough girl, was out. Like she had mono or something. She was out for a really long time. And so these boys terrorized me. And when she came back, she put an end to it. She did. And it's just so nice when you have somebody there to help you out. And precious, I don't know if you have somebody there to kind of just be on your side. And even if they don't stick up for you, to understand and see you for who you are. What happens is when bullies come and they start to tell us things, we start to believe those things and we repeat them in our own heads after that bully's gone. And I know that if you didn't have some doubt in your mind that you were some problem, then the bullies wouldn't affect you. You know, we already have doubt, but we all do, especially when you're young. You know, especially when you're going through all these changes in middle school and high school, and there's so much going on, and you're just trying to figure yourself out and figure the world out and see if you're good enough and all this stuff. And there's all these expectations, and it's a very, very hard time for all of it. And so when some people say stuff to you, they're touching buttons that are already there. So the first thing to do is to realize that there's something in you that doubts this thing about you, and we understand it, and you can have a lot of compassion for yourself about it, but it's not true. You're probably being way too hard on yourself. And then when someone says something that's anywhere near that story that you have of yourself, then it hits you even harder, and it makes you just feel so different. If you already feel different and someone says something to you, you hear it because it's part of a story you already know. If that makes sense. Like we have these stories about our life, you know, how we understand the world, how we understand ourselves, how we see ourselves. And when things in our life happen that go along with that story, we get it right away. You know, right away we go, oh, yep, this fits. So that's what's happening when people are bullied often. They're saying, oh, this fits with what I think about myself. Or this doesn't quite fit, because usually we think these negative things about ourselves, but we also think some positive things, like we think we don't deserve that and everything. There's a conflict going on in each one of us. And so even though we have some doubt about ourselves and we're not sure if we're good enough, we also want to defend that we are good enough, because we know how hard we try, and we know that in our heart we're good and we have good intentions, and we know we care about other people. And so there's a conflict. Sometimes we think that maybe we're not good enough, but then also we think, I don't know, I'm doing pretty okay. I'm a pretty nice person. And so anyway, there's all this stuff going on. And so when a bully comes in and says something and it goes along with what you think on either side, like you're not good enough, then it's going to really affect you in big ways. So taking care of that conflict in your own mind, any of that doubt that you have that you're not good enough, take care of that, because it's not true. You are good enough. Whatever expectations you think that are out there in the culture, they're not. Nobody even knows what they are. Everyone thinks that there's these expectations to be perfect and be great and be really cool, but they're not. They're not real. we just think that they're there and we try to live up to them, and we never can because they're not there, and we all feel like we fail and we feel really all horrible about ourselves. But that's why bullying works so good. Now, on the other side, think about the bully. You could control yourself and yourself only, but think about these bullies, because they're going through their own stuff. If they're judging you or saying something about you, they're judging themselves 10 times more. It doesn't mean it's okay. It's not okay that they're doing this to you. It's awful. It's not okay. You do not deserve it at all. This is not true what they're saying. Don't believe any of it. Don't let your mind repeat it to yourself, because it's not true. But we do know that when people are miserable or sad or not feeling good enough in their own life, sometimes, not everyone, hopefully you don't do it, but sometimes their misery bubbles over and they start to reach out and kind of put that misery on other people, because it seems to feel better for a moment, but doesn't really feel better in the long run. They're not winning there either. But but momentarily they might feel a little bit lifted up because they push somebody else down, or they're just getting out some of the misery on somebody else, and so they feel a little bit better. But it's not really good for anybody. Anyway, so precious, you don't deserve what's happening. I don't know what's happening to you, but hopefully you could find somebody who could help you and support you and tell you who you are and tell you how wonderful you are and how special you are, despite what those people are saying. Also, take a step back and realize they're not perfect and they're really miserable in their own lives. And what they're saying to you is not about you. People are not mean because they don't like you. They're mean because they don't like themselves. And so almost in a way, you don't take it personally anymore when you know this. When you know this, you don't take it personally. They're in their own lives. They have their own agenda. They're going through their own problems, and they're kind of dragging you down. And you have to decide not to let them drag you down. So just know that nothing they say is true. Nothing they say has anything to do with you. And that'll help a lot. It would really, really help a lot. And, we don't want to deal with these things alone at all. Get an adult to help. Get a friend. And that just doesn't mean that they do anything about this person, but it could mean someone talks to them and tells them, please stop, this is not nice. And also someone checks in with them because something's going on in their life that's not good. And that's why they're doing it. So you want someone to check them out in their life, make sure they're okay. But, and hopefully that'll make you feel better. I know they didn't deserve that, to be treated nicely when they've treated you so mean, but they're really hurting in their life. And I tell you that not so you could feel bad, or feel bad for them or pity them or anything, but I tell you that so you could feel better about yourself. So you don't take what they do personally, because it's not about you. It is about them. They got the problems, not you. So I want you to know how wonderful you are. I want you to get around people that tell you how wonderful you are, and hopefully that'll help you feel a lot better. I know you're feeling really bad and it feels really horrible to feel different, but everybody is different. Everyone thinks they're different and everyone else is the same, but we're really all different, and we really all feel different, so we're all the same in that sense, not the sense that we think forever. We think everyone's okay and confident and everyone's having a great time and everyone's motivated, and we're the only ones that are kind of left out in the cold. And that's just not true. So I hope you watch a lot more of my videos on YouTube. Just check me out, Jodi Aman, Jodiaman. And so just check out some of my more of my videos, and I think that message will really get to you, what you have to do to let yourself control your life instead of anyone else. And also, if you want to get a free video series, 7 videos, The Map to Whole Peace. These are my 7 steps to go from emotional pain and turmoil to whole peace in your life. Go to themaptowholepeace.com and you could get those videos for free. All right, thanks so much for watching my Periscope. Again, this is Jodi Aman, and I look forward to talking to you again.